Hi everyone, welcome back to Social Studies. We are going to continue learning about maps today. So we're going to go over our reading here and then I will walk you through today's assignment. If you have not already watched your introduction video, which was posted right before this one, please go back in and watch that video before you move on to this one. Alright, we're going to start right at the top here, and today we're going to be talking about different types of maps. We know that we use maps to tell us things, either how to get places, but did you know maps can also tell us other things like population and about the weather? Well, we're going to talk about those today, so I'm going to go ahead and start reading here. There are many different kinds of maps. A population map shows us where people live. A political map shows the dividing lines or borders that governments make between cities, states, and countries. Some maps are about the physical environment. A physical map shows the natural features of a place, such as a landform, mountains, valleys, lakes, and streams. A climate map shows whether a place is usually warm or cold, and wet or dry. Climate is the study of weather over time. So let's take a look at some of these maps that we scrolled by. So our first map here, this is called a population map. Say population map. Very good. And think about those key features that we learned about yesterday when we're looking at a map. Remember those key features that we're looking for? We're always looking for our title, and then our legend or key is right here again. And then we also have our compass rose, which tells us the direction. And then we also have our scale, which shows us how large something actually is. So when I'm looking at this map here, I see the title says the population map of Michigan. So this is going to help us see which parts of Michigan have a lot of people. Population is the amount of people in an area. So if we look at the Lower Peninsula here, which is our lower part of Michigan, and you look at the upper part of Michigan here, which is our Upper Peninsula, which peninsula do you think has the most people based on this map? Do you think the Upper Peninsula or the Lower Peninsula of Michigan have more people? All right, well, the correct answer would be our Lower Peninsula here, and we can find that out by looking at our map here. If we zoom in, you can see that this, it's kind of an orangish color, orange-yellow, right here where it says 1 to 100. That's the amount of people per square mile. And you can see the Upper Peninsula really is that color. So that means per square mile, there's 1 to 100 people. Where if we look at the Lower Peninsula, we see a lot of this orange color here, 100 to 1,000 people per square mile. And then we also even see some of our darker reds here, which is 1,000 to 50,000 or greater than 50,000. There's two big areas here where I see some dark reds. I see one big area down here, and I see one area right here. Any idea of what cities those are? Those are two large cities that we have in Michigan. And those large cities mean there's a lot of people there. So do you have a guess on which city this is or this is? This one over here is Grand Rapids. That is a big city in Michigan. And then what about this one over here? This cluster of red is going to be Detroit. That is the most heavily populated area in Michigan, which means it has the most people, and that's why we see that dark red over in that area. The map is telling us that this is where the most people are in this population map. Let's take a look at our next map here, which is a physical map. Say physical. Very good. And remember that a physical map shows us places like landforms, mountains, valleys, lakes, and streams. So that's what we're looking at here on this physical map. You don't see cities listed here. We don't see roads. This is what Michigan looks like in terms of its physical features. So you can see our legend has rivers is a blue squiggly, and light blue is telling us that is a lake. So our legend again is going to be very helpful here in telling us what we're looking at. So you can see the light blue will be our Great Lakes that surround Michigan. There's another one over here too. And then this squiggly blue line is telling us that there's a large river that flows from Lake Michigan into the center, or bottom center, I should say, of Michigan. So a big difference between the physical map and the population map. This one here, we're looking at just those key features. The population map, we're looking at the number of people that live in an area. We're going to take a look at one last map here. This is the climate map of Michigan. Again, I know that because I looked at my title at the top, Climate Map of Michigan, and this one is going to be talking about annual rainfall. Say annual rainfall. Good. Now say climate map. Wonderful. So a climate map shows whether a place is usually warm or cold, wet or dry. And again, climate is the study of weather over time. So not necessarily for each day, but over a longer period of time is what this is telling us. Next thing I want to do is look at my legend and my key here. This is going to give me some helpful information when I'm looking to read my map. It says average rainfall per year. So this is the average, all the rainfall throughout all of Michigan. And this map is going to tell us how much rain Michigan gets on average in that area. So again, we have different colors here. Darker blue and then lighter blue. Lighter blue is going to mean less rain, where darker blue is going to be the most rain that we see in Michigan. Do you see a pattern looking at look at our lower peninsula right now? What do you notice? Well, if darker colors mean more rain, I'm noticing that this half of Michigan gets more rain than this half of Michigan. So that means the west side of Michigan gets more rain than the east side based on this map. We can see that there are some areas with our darkest blue, which is over 36 inches of rain over an average year. All right, so those are our three maps that we are going to be talking about today. Now I want to go in and go over our assignment. In Notability, you will be downloading this attachment next. Oh, not that one, sorry. You will be downloading this attachment next, and you'll be completing this in Notability and then submitting it back into Schoology. So your directions here. Label the different types of maps. You can choose from climate, political, or physical. Then use complete sentence to explain what the map shows. So for this option here, you are going to tell me which type of map this is using either climate, political, or physical map, and you will write it in this section here. You will say a blank map shows, fill in the blank there, and then in this section, you are going to continue on telling me what that map shows. So a blank map shows, and then go in and tell me, what does it show here? What is this map showing me? Okay. You're going to want to look at the different parts of that map that we have talked about before. All right. Then you are going to do that for the next ones as well. You're going to take a look at your next map here, and you're going to tell me what type of map this is. So is this map a climate map, a political map, or a physical map? Make sure you're looking at your key and legend. That is going to give you some tips on what kind of map that is. And then lastly, a blank map shows, you're going to fill in this one, either political, physical, or, sorry, I drew a blank, climate. You're going to fill in the option there. Again, look at that key to help you out with figuring out which type of map this is, and then make sure to tell me what it shows. So a blank map shows, and go ahead and explain that. I would like you to use at least 2 sentences, which this first section here could be considered 1 sentence after you finish it, and then you'll go in and finish a second sentence, giving me 2 good sentences here. All right, so you know what to do. You're going to download this into Notability. You are going to finish this off, and have a great day, guys. Let us know if you have any questions.